and welcome back to the Craic Heads Podcast with myself, Kegs.
And me, Shannon.
So welcome back everyone who is regular listeners, and if you're new here, this is a podcast for the gals and for the gays and for anyone who's up for a bit of crack.
Yeah, just think of this as your crazy group chat with your very dysfunctional big brother and big sister.
Yes, love it. Let's get stuck in. So basically this week we've got a very special guest on, which we'll introduce in a wee second. But first, me and Shannon are just going to do a wee quick catch up from our week, basically.
Yeah.
We've not much to catch up on, to be fair, because we've been with each other all week. But
yeah.
I have basically been so rotten all week, to be honest. I don't know.
Yeah, you've been in a bit of a funk, haven't you?
I've been in such a funk. I think it's like a combination of the full moon and Mercury retrograde and all that there sort of stuff. And I've been sending you stuff as well. I'm like, she's like, I feel like this is happening. And I'm like, sending you TikToks, which relates to Mercury retrograde. I'm like, do you believe it now? But yeah, basically all I've been doing is literally going to the gym and rotting on myself all day. I've just been like not motivated to do anything. I don't want to do anything. And yeah, I went to actually.
That changes today.
Yeah, that changed. I'm actually feeling in such a better mood today. I got up this morning, I was getting shit done. Had a shower for the first time in a few days. Was like getting freshened up.
Vibes.
I was like, right, okay, we're getting back on track. I went to Noah Can on Saturday, which was good fun, to be fair. Went up with a few friends. Very last minute, I just needed out of the house. Was watching everyone at EP, and I was like getting so much FOMO. I was like, why am I not there?
It did look very good.
EP looks sick, but yeah, I just feel like my body is needing a bit of a rest right now because as you've seen the past couple of months, it's been fucking non-stop. Chaos. So I think I'm crashing a little bit, but we're only human. It happens. So that's basically my week. Actually, we went on a wee adventure. My fucking car died.
Yeah. So I actually posted a few videos about this on social media. If you're a listener who's been listening for a while, you will know the story of Kegs coming to my house and his car battery dying, and us having to get jump leads and everything. And I was like, no, like your battery's fucked. Like there's literal like shit on top of your battery. Like you need to get it changed.
Like actual
Kegs
poo.
Like, yeah. So almost probably over a month later, why are we sitting in Hollywood and Kegs, its car battery died? And I look at him and I go, you haven't got this battery changed, have you? And he's like, no. So one of his archangels or something came and fixed it, and thank God we got home. And
No, so basically my car has not died. Actually, it died once for like a split second, and I spoke of this before, and I asked the moon to fucking help it and start it again. And then this time it literally hasn't died since. Shannon gets in it. Of course, the second time that Shannon gets in it dies the same time. I'm like, my car's allergic to you. But I basically would start literally, how many times do we try? About 10 times.
So many times.
And then we were joking, making a quick video, and I was like, I call on Archangel Michael to fix my car. Next thing, started.
It just started working.
I was like, what the hell?
No, literally. And then he did go and get a battery. So
I did.
Well
it was
done,
only like
proud of
100.
you.
It was like 110 quid to get it fixed.
It's not bad.
I was like, fuck me, a battery for a car is going to be like so expensive, but it wasn't that bad. Like,
no, it's not too bad. Yeah, that we went for a nice like lunch actually. Wasn't
what was
it?
the place called we went? It was really nice.
Joxer.
Oh yeah, it's
in
gorgeous.
Hollywood. It was really nice. Shane Todd was there too, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't know we seen him, but we spied him leaving.
Shannon was literally just speaking about it 5 minutes before, and the next thing he walks in.
We were walking across. I was walking across the road one time in Hollywood, and he was like, "Hey, how are you?" Just being really, really nice. And you know when you're like, does he think he knows me, or was he just genuinely being really nice? Either way, very pleasant. But yeah, then I haven't really done much, to be honest. It's actually my 2-year anniversary today from posting my first ever video on TikTok.
Oh my God. Woo! Yeah. Go Shannon! Oh my God, my back. Lads, I fucked my back in the gym. I just clapped my hands and I'm like, oh, I'm an old man. But yeah, well done. Oh my God.
2 years today since I first started on social media, which is actually mad in so many ways.
It's also unreal that you've achieved what you've achieved in the space of 2 years, because like people be grafting their fucking ass off for like years on socials, and you're like,
so crazy. I'm so grateful.
You're
honestly.
at such a level.
So grateful. But
oh my God, I didn't even know that.
And got a new puppy last night.
Oh my God, yes, so you did.
Yeah,
oh my God, she the cutest wee thing ever.
So cute, so playful though. Because when we got backstory, I have a sausage dog called Tilly, and I used to have a little Yorkie called Sadie. She was 15. She unfortunately passed away a few weeks ago. So the little sausage dog Tilly was so like down from missing Sadie, obviously. So that's why obviously we got another dog, but it's another sausage dog. Now when we got the original sausage dog many years ago, 3 years ago, for the first couple of days she was so timid and shy, and then she like came out of her shell and was crazy. This little thing has been crazy from the second she set foot in the house.
Really?
She's mental. So we were joking because the older dog Tilly was like a wee bit nervous of her and was like, what is this crazy little dog bouncing away? And we were like, do you know what this is? Sadie, our old dog that died, has sent this little crazy dog as payback for Tilly torturing Sadie for 3 years.
Literally.
So we're like, it's payback, but she is so cute. I'm obsessed. I was so sad leaving the house today.
So cute.
I was like, bye.
Are they getting on well, the dogs?
They are now. They were like playing together.
Class.
So we got like little mini toys for the pup.
Yeah.
And like any toys, Tilly's toys. So she then has obviously used them as well, but they were like literally playing tug of war and everything.
Unreal.
I was like, this is so cute.
Do you recommend if you've one dog to get two?
We always had just Sadie. We had one dog, so she was a very like placid, very civilized dog.
Yeah.
So she was fine by herself, and then we got Tilly. She was a bit crazy, but they did love each other.
Okay, sick.
They loved each other's company. I would say if your dog's used to having another dog, you kind of need another one, because then you got a few dicks commenting on my videos being like, oh my god, replacing the dog already. I'm like, fuck off.
Oh my god, leave me alone. Like,
the dog is sad and wants a friend. We were good enough to get her a friend.
Fair.
Fuck off.
Because we've had one dog literally for about 7 years, Toby is, and like I love him so much, maybe baby. But when we were on holidays in Albufeira, when we sent one of like this girl from home looks after dogs, so we put him in there to like stay there when we were on holidays, and mummy went to lift him and he didn't want to leave. He was having so much fun with all these dogs, so he left and he came home and he was huffing because he wanted the dogs around him. So the other day in the group chat, seeing someone from home, Edie's my sister, seeing someone from home selling these wee gorgeous little puppies, and all of us in the house were like, oh my god, can we please get one Toby needs a friend. I
think when they're used to having, especially even if it's only like a week, they've like got used to someone, then probably it's sad for them. It's like loneliness. And that's what I said, even though the dog that passed away and Tilly, they didn't play with each other or anything because the other dog was so quiet. They would have snuggled together and stuff, but it's just that wee company, I think, having.
So we're manifesting in my house to get another dog. Even though I don't live there, but I would love another wee dog. Toby's, that'd be so cute. But yeah, that's your week, is it?
That's it.
Gorge. Well, congrats on 2 years anniversary. Thanks. I don't even know when I started. I can't remember. I must go look back.
And
I
knew it was around this time because I wasn't sure if it was September or August, and then I literally scrolled back and was like, it was then.
I think I'm nearly coming up to 4 years, you know.
Go off, King.
I know. I'd say it's about nearly 4 years. I think it was after Ibiza 4 years ago, to be fair, because it was nearly enough after. To be fair,
this week convo kind of leads us to our guest today.
Yeah.
We'll get her to properly kind of give a full explanation, but Aoife has not been doing socials for long.
Has she
not?
not?
I know. I don't think so. I could be wrong. We'll have to ask her, but I think you're maybe talking, I'm going to guess maybe a year or so, if even.
Well, we'll find out in a wee sec.
She has really popped off, so I can't wait to get chatting to her. So
no, I literally love her so much. As soon as I seen her, I was like, I love this girl's vibe. But yeah, it's Aoife O Farrell. Her name on TikTok's Mia Khalaoife. But yeah, she's a wee dote, and we're going to get her in now. So let's go get her, shall we?
Let's go summon her. Woo! Let's go.
Yes, so we are joined by our very special guest today, Aoife O Farrell, otherwise known as Mia Khalaoife on TikTok. Hey. Where did that come from, Mia Khalaoife? Like, is that the porn star? She's called something close to that?
Yeah, well, she's not really a porn star. She was taken very advantage of by the industry.
Really?
Yeah. I'm her defender till I die, like, for
sick.
real.
I didn't even know that.
But I was because I don't even know. I didn't want my brother or someone to find my TikTok. So my username was like user 28,675,000, whatever. And then I was looking up.
That's right. I did see that whenever I first seen you.
For ages. And then I was like, Wiz Khalifa, like Mia Khalifa, everything was all taken, but Mia Khalifa wasn't. So tried all of them.
Sick.
It's probably not that
I
many.
love that. And should we just get started as in like give us a bit of like background for you, and then we'll tell us your crack and all that thereafter. So usually in this podcast, if you're new here, we have like different segments, but sometimes when we have guests, we just kind of wing it and go with the flow and see what sort of comes up.
It's me.
So yeah, for anyone who doesn't know you, give us a wee like introduction of who you are and a bit about you. I know, you're like, what do I say?
Everyone always starts with like, I'm Shannon and I'm 28. That's always the way to start.
I'm 23 actually. I feel like sorry guys, I feel like I'm so old.
You're so old. We're literally so much older than you.
I just turned 23 on Thursday. Happy birthdays. Yeah, Leo. I was in Liverpool there for 4 years for uni. Did have a psychology degree. So if anyone's psychoanalyzed, let me know. Doing digital marketing now. I feel like I'm in a job interview. Why am I talking like this? I'm like, so fun fact about me. I don't even know. I started TikTok like a year ago. And I was so embarrassed. But I used to tell all these like really crazy inappropriate stories when I had like 5,000 followers, because I was like, who's even going to see them?
Yeah.
And then I posted this one video because basically, without getting too, it's like a really long story, and it would make them look really bad for good reason. But
I seen a TikTok earlier though, and it was a girl saying, it was you.
It was me.
It was you. I was gonna say yes. Like, it was you. You literally. Yes. What did you say?
I said, if I talk about you and it makes you look like shit, that's not me talking shit.
Yeah.
Because you did shit things. Okay.
I love that. I literally seen it. It was
that's
like
you. Honestly, I'm like, if you did something shit, me talking about it is not being a shit sir. You're just a shit person.
Yeah.
Okay?
Take fucking accountability.
So in saying that, you can get the gist of, we used to live with me and Saffron, my housemate now. we used to live with 5 of us in the house, and we had this fallout over something so stupid, and basically we're left homeless. Like, it was crazy. Me and Saffron got left homeless by our best friends. But I'm keeping my pace, so I won't say everything. But so basically,
are you still friends with these people?
No.
Okay.
Haven't spoke since this one random Sunday, right? And then for 2 months we had to live in the house with them. So, and did not speak one word. I don't know if you've ever lived with someone that you like did not speak to.
I've been there.
It was the worst. And I was like, I had the worst anxiety, like awful. I used to work.
You literally feel awkward going to make like a cup of tea.
I didn't eat for 2 months. I was so skinny. But I was like, so I worked Monday, Thursday, Friday. Saffron worked Tuesday, Wednesday. So we'd always be in the house by ourselves. And I was like, I can't do this. So one day I was just like, right, like after this, I'm going to just post a TikTok about me trying on my vintage clothes or something. I was like doing like a vintage clear out. And it just like randomly like blew up. I think got like 130,000 likes or something. And I was like, oh my god, like I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is it, like I'm dropping out of uni, like but that got me to like 30k, and then I was like, oh my god, I could actually,
one video,
unreal.
That's
I had
class.
like, I think I had like 10k before it, so it got me like so many followers, and I was like, oh my god, this is literally insane. So then I just started from there, because I was like, people, like I was, obviously everyone's worried people were going to say at them at home, you know, hometown, like small town mentality and all.
100% die.
But then I was like, they can't say much now, because
fair.
For her, it's like getting a wee bit of attention, so just started like that.
I think because we were saying beforehand, I was saying I think it was about a year that you started, because I was saying it was my 2-year anniversary today, and I was like, and that leads us on to our guest coming on. I think she's like maybe only started posting recently and like recently blew up.
Yeah,
but do you not think that even since last year when you would have started till now, it's so much more acceptable now?
It's
like
crazy.
I think it's like the perfect time, and if anyone's thinking about doing it, like just do it, because I don't think if anyone's judging, that's their issue, because I don't see anyone actually
not anymore. No. Also, like at the end of the day, there is always going to be someone who's going to do it worse and be more successful. So you may as well just do it.
And I seen a TikTok recently as well. Someone was saying that if people are chatting shit about you, they're like, what's the right way to describe it?
Talking behind your back.
People who are like doing well on social media aren't going to be slabbering about you for trying to do social media. It's the people who aren't even trying are going to be slabbering about you. Do you know what I mean?
So true. So also, like, the thing is, as much as people are going to talk, like 99% of the time you're never going to hear about it.
Yeah.
And when you think about like things that you say, everybody bitches about people sometimes. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So
you
like
forget
it
about
really
it after a minute. Like, do you know what I mean?
Like, no one cares.
Yeah, because I can't remember what the first video was I seen of you, but I remember instantly I was like drawn. I was like, who is this gal? She's so fucking cool. And then when I was stalking you earlier before the podcast, I was like, we're so like similar. We're both Leos. You're into psychology. If I went to back to uni, psychology would be what I would want to do. I'm like very into the mind and that sort of thing. And I was like, right, she knows her crack. And you actually do give like sort of mindset sort of TikToks as well, which I love.
I just speak whatever. I always feel like I have like good advice, but I wouldn't take it myself. So I'm like, if someone asks me anything, I'm like, oh, I have the perfect thing to say about this, and they're like, doesn't seem like what you say. Like,
like we're all like that though. You're like, you can give good advice and then you actually don't take it yourself, and then you're like crying to mates. You're like, you literally told me this the other day. Like, fucking listen.
Yeah, I could literally think in my head, like, if my friend was going through something that I'm going through, this is what I tell her. But like, am I going to do that? Probably not.
But I'm like, it's different when it's me. Like, it's I will be happy with this outcome. And,
class. So you grew up in, what was the place called?
Well, like Lissummon.
Lissummon?
It's like beside Points Pass, Jarrett's Pass direction. If anyone knows it.
Is that like a wee small village?
Doxing myself. Yeah, it's tiny. It's just like, I don't even know how to really. It's in the arse end of nowhere, really.
Similar to me. What was it like there growing up?
Oh, I loved it.
You loved
I actually loved it. It's like in the middle of nowhere, but we had like I would have rode horses and stuff. So
class.
So fun. Not anymore. I'm so unfit. I don't do anything. But,
I know I walked in there now and I was like, I have a sore back from the gym, and she was like, that's what you get for going to the gym.
Yeah, don't exercise. I'm so happy. I used to do everything. I was like the sportiest child ever, and now like I tried to do couch to 5k and couldn't do the first run. Like, it actually is possible to be that unfit. I never even knew it, but
I feel like being from Ireland, I feel like it's quite a common thing for people to be thrown into like every fucking sport there is going about.
Hold on. So when I was younger, I done sports in school, right? Like flat out loved sport, but it was just because it was in school. It wasn't really my family. And it wasn't really like, I don't know, it wasn't really common in my community where I lived for people to like their family put them into like club sports. It really wasn't. Like really, really wasn't. But then whenever I met my boyfriend and like his dad would have been like, so just play any sports? I'm going, what?
Maybe it's different if you're from Belfast though.
So I don't know, but then I think like they would have been big into GAA and stuff. Obviously that's not something I'm going to be going to. Like, it was a lot more common. Like, his sister still to this day, well, not now because she's pregnant, but apart from being pregnant, plays rugby, plays GAA, all these like community club things, and I'm like, I don't even think there is. To be fair, I did try to go back to netball just before I was going to Australia. Yeah, about 2 years ago, actually, September 2 years ago, I did try to join a netball team, Belfast Ladies, like the top flipping netball team. Who did I think I was? I haven't played since I was in 5th year in school.
Don't ask, don't get.
Broke my ankle on the first night. So
that's a sign not to exercise.
But that wouldn't have been like like it wasn't like I knew people going to that or anything. Where I feel like in other communities, depending where you live, it's a lot more common to have
it's
community
nearly like
sports.
Where I'm from, it's like kind of weird if you don't play sport.
Yeah, if you didn't do Gaelic, it was so crazy.
Yeah,
like
but
if I went now,
that's probably why.
Yeah, like if I went now,
so it would be.
So Gaelic wouldn't
if I was like, Mum, can I join GA?
I do think it is different now though, because I know like younger generations that I see, like it's not weird if they don't play sports.
Yeah.
It's more normal to be your authentic self now, which I like.
Yeah.
To be
Whereas
fair,
we were all like try everything. I always thought that was like you just find that you're like you find out what you're good at really weird things. Like I used to do. I don't know if anyone knows to triathlons. It was in the pony club.
Yeah.
So I was like in Aoife, up Aoife, and
what?
Aoife. It was my branch of the pony club.
All right, okay. I was like, wait, what's that?
It sounds really posh. It's actually not posh if you're from here, I promise. But you do like shooting, like pistol shooting.
Yeah.
And so I found out this is years ago now, like I was unreal at pistol shooting. So don't cross me for real. But like it's just so random. I never actually did it again. Like, but I was like, God, I'm brilliant at this. So random. Talent. And I did like 7 sports and quit them all.
Yeah, I done a couple as well and don't do anything anymore. I was going to the gym recently more, so that's a wee bit of a sport.
Yeah. I do nothing.
I say I'm going to join a run club all the time, but
I tried the running thing. I tried it and I did get myself to the stage I was doing 5Ks. Couldn't do it now, but it was literally for a few months. Still didn't enjoy it though. Like I still don't get the runner's high thing. I hated every second.
I actually don't like working out. Like
no, to be fair, after the run, I had a like slightly nice feeling, but no better than the feeling I got after I like got a shower.
Like I love the feeling. I like to just rot in bed. Like that's just as good to me.
Like me all week. I've literally watched about 5 series on Netflix. I'm like, I need to actually get up and do something with my life right now.
I watched the whole Office in like 2 weeks. The other
I've never seen it.
I've seen it about 6 times. I could quote it. It's terrible though.
The UK or US?
US.
I don't know if it's my type of banter. I don't know.
See, I can't watch TV. I've said this before. I've like a serious issue. Like I can watch a movie or something with my boyfriend or if I'm with someone, but I have never been able to watch mostly not even movies, but I definitely can't do TV shows.
You must get
I
so
don't
much
have
done.
the attention. Really? I don't have it. Completely same with reading, can't do any of it.
See, I can't really have like if I'm doing something in the flat, I just always have something on.
Yeah,
I don't like sitting in silence.
I have
but
a podcast
I don't
or something usually in my ear.
No, I'd be.
Do you listen to many podcasts?
No, I listen to My Therapist Ghosted Me.
I
thought that was
actually
really
went
funny.
to their live show in
Did
Australia.
you?
It was so fun. Fogue Williams and Joanne McNally.
Yeah.
So funny.
I wish like it was so good.
I'd never listened to it until I went to the live show. It was my friend was like, I really want to go. Like, will you come? They are fucking hilarious.
Just so funny. Just so droll.
Yeah.
Like everything they say.
I've never actually seen
the only
them.
reason I knew who Vogue was to show my age. You know Westlife?
Yeah.
So Brian McFadden, that was like left Westlife first. She used to go with him.
Did she?
Yeah, for years.
I didn't
So
know
that's
that.
how I knew who Vogue
Is that how
Williams
she
was.
became big?
Is that
No,
the
she
one that
was
cheated on
modelling.
her? Because she was going out with someone recently who cheated on her, but I don't.
Spencer Matthews is her husband, is it?
Yeah.
I don't think he
Maybe
cheated
it's
on her,
the
did
other-
he?
No, must be the other one.
No, before that.
Well, Brian McFadden was her like major ex. It would probably be, I would assume, probably the most famous ex, but she had her own thing going on anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
He didn't like make her, definitely not.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
So you grew up in the place you just said, I can't remember the fucking name of it, and then
Lisbon.
you went to Liverpool for uni.
Went to Liverpool. I got right out of there. I was just like, well, I was in the year our A levels were 2020, so we were like in lockdown. Didn't sit any exams. Like literally the last exams I've sat were my GCSEs, like my
no
real
way.
exams. And I was like, I'm going on to a masters now, and I didn't do a single in-person exam all my years in uni.
Oh my God,
If
so
my
cool as well.
masters are in person, but I've got no exams, thank God. Well, wait, actually I might, because I swapped course, so I'll have to check that, but that'd be awful. But yeah, so I was stuck in the house with my family. Love my family to pieces, but like it was rough in the middle of the countryside. And
Yeah.
like, my mom's a doctor, so she was like, we are doing the lockdown rules. Like,
Yeah,
it
you're not
wasn't,
moving.
there was no
Oh, really?
leeway with us. So I was
What, so
like,
you were in school during lockdown?
no, well, yeah, I was in
That's crazy.
7th year technically, but like didn't obviously do anything.
Yeah.
But so after lockdown, I was like, I actually need to leave, and I had like a wee 3-week situationship that obviously broke my heart.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought he was the love of my life. Shockingly enough, he wasn't. It was crazy. So I was like, I gotta get out of this country. I gotta leave. So I moved to Liverpool. Thank God.
Where did you go to? John Mayer's?
No, University of.
Oh, very good.
So
I remember when I was in the 6th and 7th year, loads of my friends went to uni in Liverpool, and I always used to fly over for nights out, and I was like, man, I'm going to uni, I'm going to go to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Obviously it didn't happen, like, but I do love Liverpool. It's a fun city.
It's a brilliant city. It's so, like, Scousers are genuinely some of the nicest people you will ever meet in your life.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And then also it's just like home away from home.
Yeah, 100%.
Everyone is there. You go down the street and you bump into someone, you know.
It's a mad night out there as well.
So mad.
Do you have any mad stories from Liverpool days?
Like, well, actually, I'm literally the biggest person who I will preach. I've got a few stories, actually, two of them both to do with phones. Okay, gotta be careful with your phones, girls. But the one, I was the biggest person to preach, never put your phone in your back pocket, okay? So I was like, never put your phone in your back pocket. I had it in my front pocket. I actually was out on St. Patrick's Day. I used to work in a bar, and I was doing like a 12 to 12 shift, or a 10 to 12 shift, whatever. Went out afterwards, had my phone in my front pocket. Some lad comes up to me, puts his arm around me, and I was like, oh my God, no, get off, whatever. And he goes, right, okay, get it off. Puts his hand down, like slides it into my pocket somehow, steals my phone. And I was like, didn't even notice till he was off into the crowd. I went to the policeman. I was like, someone just saw my phone. He was like, you're like the 6th person to say this.
What the fuck?
Today. And I was like, it was on St. Patrick's Day. That feels like a hate crime. Like,
yeah, what the fuck?
on
Rob me on Paddy's Day, like.
And then I have another, this is actually kind of, well, it's kind of a crazy story, but it's not that crazy, but I'll tell you anyway. So we went, I used to work, as I said, I used to work in this bar. So I never got weekends off. Like, I was working every single weekend all the time. I had this Friday night off, and me and my house, all of the ones that we were friends with at that point, we were like, let's go out, like, let's do something not clubbing though, we'll do something else. So we decided to go to this rave. But I don't know what, like, rave culture, everybody gets on it. Like, everybody does drugs.
Yeah.
And I don't do drugs. So I was like, right, I'm going to have to get really drunk. Like, so me, which is also sort of a good story. So me and Saffron, we were like, right, we have to get like super duper drunk because we don't do drugs. We got to keep up with everyone else. So started doing shots. We wouldn't really drink, like, we would just do shots, I mean.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
We wouldn't drink like actual mixed drinks.
I always say this, like, unless it's a really nice cocktail in a bar,
Yeah.
I don't enjoy the process of sitting drinking. Like,
I'd rather get it
drinking.
over with quick.
I don't even like drinking water. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I actually wish you could take like an alcohol tablet.
Yes. I still feel that.
That's what
Because I like
need.
being drunk,
Yeah.
but I don't like drinking.
Yeah, I
You know what
get you.
But so we were just doing this, did loads of shots, whatever, and then we went to leave, and so I'm just going to give you a timeline. We left the house at like 10. When we left, we saw that there was a 10 glass and it was empty, and like we were like, did we drink that entire 10 glass? Apparently we'd taken a whole 10 glass and shots, so we left. I was like, I'm not even drunk, like I literally feel sober right now. Got in the taxi, that's it, like that's the last thing I remember.
Oh my God.
But we got there, went to the bar, we're like, let's get Jaeger bombs. Hate Jaeger bombs with all my heart, but did one, threw it back up onto the bar, which
Lovely.
is always good. I bet the bartender loved me that night. Went to the toilet, was like being so sick, and then Saffron was like, we have to go, like we gotta just leave. And I was like, right, okay, first. Went outside, was sat on the we're sat on the curb. She was trying to get a taxi. Sorry, this like, no, it's coming. I know it's coming and I'm oiling. Calm down. So tried to get a taxi. Tried like 3 different Ubers. None of them would take me, of course, because they were looking at this corpse sitting on the side of the road. Like she's not getting in this car. Tried to get in. Then one of them, she had the door open, and he was like, "I'm not taking you." And she was like, "Right, cancel the taxi then." And he was like, "You cancel it." And she was like, "No, because I've already got charged twice.
Yeah.
Can you cancel it?" Had this big fight, and then eventually she shut the door, let him on. So she sat on the side of the road, and I was just like slumped over, like literally nothing, just sat beside her. And she's wearing these white parachute pants, and someone eggs her.
Oh my God.
Isn't that funny? Someone threw eggs at her.
She goes out at night out with eggs in her back pocket. Like, what the
Like,
fuck?
with the intention, obviously.
Egg and someone, and she was like laughing so hard, like, but there was no one to laugh with her because I was passed out. So she was like going, "Oh my God, I'm sitting here egged, like just by myself,
Trying to
Oh my
look
God."
after you with egg all over.
Awful. So she was ringing all of our friends that had cars. Everyone was out the Friday night, so the only person she knew that had a car that could drive was our nail man, like the guy who did our nails.
Is this some random man?
Yeah.
Oh my
like,
God.
Literally,
That worked
so
in
she
a
was-
nail shop, obviously.
She was going through it at the time. She had just broke up with her boyfriend of 3 years. And so she had like kind of befriended the nail man. So he comes anyway, and he gets us, and Saf takes off her trousers in the back of the car, like has them in this plastic bag. And we go back. We lived in Smithdown. Anyone who lives in Liverpool or whatever
it's like Holy Lands in
it's
Liverpool,
like the Holy Lands, yeah. So he brings us to Smithdown, and he like comes in to try and make sure I'm okay. And I was like, go away, like you're the nail man, like what are you doing here? But I was so drunk, of course. So go up to my room, I pass out. Saf gets in the shower to wash off the eggs, and then the next day I wake up and I'm like a bat out of hell. I wake up like we got home at probably 10:30. Like I posted a fit check on my private story at 9 p.m. and there's a video of me passed out at 10:15. So like, it was a long night. And like me who hadn't been out in months because I worked in a bar, like I never got to go out. So this was like my one night out. Really had a good time. So wake up the next day and I'm like, oh my God, run into Saffron's room. She's sat like me right now, bag on the shoulder, like just in her clothes asleep.
She slept with her bag on her back.
She like got in the shower when she got back though, and then got dressed. Like I don't. We were all so drunk. So she sat with her bag on her shoulder, like literally sat up in bed. And I'm like, what time is it? Because I had work.
Well, she was sitting sleeping, like
yeah,
sitting up.
like she was asleep. She was literally asleep. I had work. I was opening and work that day, so I started.
Where were you working at this point?
In the bar still, but it was an opening shift was like 11 a.m. So
that is the fear being in that state and having to go into a bar.
Like I was off my face too still at this point. So I was like, what time is it? And she was like, it's 8 o'clock. And I was like, right, okay, sign. Went in to go get my phone. Also, I'm in my whole outfit, of course, and my makeup, everything. Went in to get my phone. Phone's nowhere to be found. And I was like, oh my God, I've lost my phone. So I get on my laptop, go to find my iPhone, and it's like on some random street by the rave. So I was like, I obviously dropped it and it's just there. So we leave to go, and like, don't do this at home, kids, but Saffron definitely was not okay to drive. Like, we were both literally like eyes rolling in the back of our heads. Like,
oh God,
we're not for drugs. We don't do drugs. Like, so drunk. So like, we go and we're driving down these streets. I'm sitting with my laptop on my thing, going, it's down this next street or whatever. Get out. We're looking in the gutters. We're looking everywhere, like in our rave outfits, and there's a house, like a random house, and we were ringing the phone loads. No one was answering. I walk over and I'm like, I'm just gonna ask in this house, like, see if they've seen anything, whatever. Knock on the door at 8:30 in the morning, like God love whoever's in there. Knock on the door until this fella comes down. He goes, "Are you the phone girl?"
Shut up.
I was like, yeah. He was like, here you go.
No way.
How did he know you was your phone?
Not a question. He hands me the phone, closes the door.
No way.
And like, have never found out who he
Surely
was.
he like seen
why
you.
What
he
a
had my
blessing
phone.
though, because
like how on earth, and obviously though he never answered it, so he must have been planning being like keeping it. I don't know.
he was maybe like
Could he give it
hoping,
back?
if I just don't keep answering, no one's gonna come looking for this, and then I can keep it if it gets over the line enough. But then when you appeared, he was like, okay, you win, there's your phone.
Here's your phone. So give me back my. He obviously was like, the state of this girl, she needs this more than me. She doesn't. I even have clean clothes, like she's wearing the clothes from yesterday. Got my
I wonder,
phone
did he
back.
see you or how he got your phone? I wonder, did you like hand it to him or something? I don't fucking know.
I don't even know. I literally, I couldn't even, like, the only reason I know the story is because people have told me the story.
Yeah.
But then I got up, went to work, worked a 12-hour shift, like,
Fair play.
raved on, but it
Did
was.
you die at the end of the shift?
Oh, I was something sidle at the end of that shift for real. Like, I was not for going, but I did it. I was so proud of
Fair play.
myself.
Survived
Round of
it.
applause.
Well done. Well done.
That was a crazy day.
Yeah,
For
that
real.
sounds mad, to be fair. Right, so you're in Liverpool, you're doing psychology.
Mhm.
What's your master's then?
Digital marketing.
Oh my God, that's a sick...
So apt.
Oh my God, that's so weird, because the two things that I would ever go to uni to do is psychology or marketing.
Yeah.
Because they come hand in hand, especially with social
So
media as
hand in
well.
hand. I was like, because I was meant to be doing a fashion marketing master's, which I was like, oh my God, so
well,
fun.
shut up. Fashion was one of my choices in uni as well. Are we the same person?
Are we?
That's why
romantic.
I was fucking love it.
I know, but then because being Irish, it's messed up with the student loan thing, so I couldn't get any loans for the fashion marketing, so I'm doing digital instead. But
So that's good for socials and all too.
yeah, like it's so handy.
And what do you want to continue with TikTok and maybe make it a job, or do you just go with the flow kind of thing?
I don't know. When I was way, like, I literally, me and my sister were laughing yesterday. We were looking at like my dad's old camera from when we were like 8 and doing all the, hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube. Like me filming all these. Like, I was gonna be a YouTube star. I was like, I'm convinced I'm gonna be famous. From I was way, I was like, I'm gonna be famous. I used to think,
that's me.
Literally, because Miranda Cosgrove, she got scouted in a bar when she was like 6, right? Because she was doing karaoke or some wee joke. Like, I don't even know if I'm remembering this right, but I was like, that's gonna be me. First of all, I was never never in bars when I was way like, what am I even on about? Like a 7-year-old in a bar. But like I thought I was just gonna be walking down the street and someone was like, "You're the next iCarly."
Yeah.
Like I was like, this is gonna happen. But it never did. Funny enough, it was crazy. But then I tried to start YouTube when I was like maybe 13. Like I was like, I'm gonna be a YouTube star. I tried to do like not hate list. I was trying to do like straightener curls. Like I couldn't do straightener curls, so the video was just me crying. Like I literally burst out crying in this video. I don't know.
Did you post the videos?
No.
Never did it.
Like I did post a few YouTube videos in lockdown.
Yeah.
Like I think I posted like 3 YouTube videos when everyone was like, we're gonna be YouTubers, because everyone was like, I did the Chloe Ting for 2 weeks. We know how that went.
What is that?
But
like lab workout.
It's lose 1 million stone in 2 weeks. You're gonna be like Bella Hadid. But so I did that, but then I never really posted any TikToks, anything.
Yeah.
Like I'd post like the wee trends, how everyone would do.
Yeah.
For like until May last year, and then I was like, there was a bit where I was like, I actually could do this, but I'm doing my masters and all. If anything comes to TikTok, happy days.
Like,
if not, I think I will. I do want to go into marketing, so I don't know.
They come hand in hand anyway, but I think something
it's a bit like
sure.
Billy McCormick that was on a few weeks ago. Like she obviously has her TikTok thing going on, but she is working in marketing.
Yeah.
So she was saying like it's like basically this, what her day to day is basically the same as what she does on TikTok.
Billy's so star quality though.
She's such
like
so are you though? But you are.
Thank you. No, but I always thought like I always just like, because me and Billy wouldn't be from like so far away. She was always like, to all of us in school, she was like the it girl. Like she was like the most famous. Like maybe not in school, like 7th year, I want to say.
Billy's been doing socials for quite a while.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And like I remember she followed me on TikTok last year, and I was like, oh my god!
Shut up! I did not know this.
Like, I was like on the private story being like, the Billy McCormick followed me. Like she was like,
it's
the
like
shit.
Dervla and Billy. I always think are like this. They like slow grinded.
Yeah,
like they have put in the work. Like Billy,
God,
whenever I think of them, I would always think Dervla and Billy.
Yeah, big time.
Class, go on the gal. That's sick.
For real.
Yeah.
So what made you do psychology?
I didn't know what to do. So I was like, I'm either going to do like psychology or business, I swear, just the two things. And I was like, I'm a bit of a yapper, overthinker. I was like, I really know there's something wrong in there. So I've got to figure it out. And like, to be honest, I actually, when I moved, I was so depressed and like my mental health, everything was so horrendous. And like, it's only got better the more I've done psychology. It's actually like, it's so true. People say it. And I'm not even like, I never like would self-diagnose myself with anything, but it just makes you understand how the brain works the way it does and all. And now I'm like, so zen.
That's what I was going to ask. I was like, because I seen you talk about like your mental health back in the day, and like you said that psychology had a big impact on you growing as a person.
Hugely.
For sure.
Like I always think that if anyone from school watches my TikToks, they're probably like, she's so fake. Like, because I'm so different than what I would have been in school.
That's normal. See when people's like, you've changed so much, and you're like, yeah, thanks.
That's a good thing.
Oh, it's such a good
thank
thing.
You. Do you know what I mean?
The worst version of myself when I was in school.
I actually had
the worst.
I'm like so embarrassed to even look back at the videos and all, because I'm like, not even saying I'm like a wee angel on earth now, but I just was like such a wee shit. Do you know that's the only way to describe it? I was just like, oh, I hate her.
But that's growth. I had someone message me. Now, to be fair, I've since got an apology. I think they were maybe very drunk, but it was someone that I was like friends with back in the day, and not even that far back in the day. Kegs knows who the person is.
Oh,
so like,
I know what you're going to say.
But like a good few years ago, and like this was like just like me chilling at home one night, like quite late at night, and I was like, I looked at my phone, I seen this like paragraph being like, I can't believe how much you've changed and you've like forgot about me and blah 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 blah, and like you're a completely different person. Like you always said that you would never have the confidence to post stuff on social media, and like you would never do it and blah blah blah. And I read this all and I was like, whoa. I was like, we had drifted apart before I ever even posted on social media. That was a whole different situation.
Also growing in
confidence
is a brilliant thing.
Was the most insecure person. I was literally 16 stone. Of course I would be saying I would never post on social media. I was like, oh my goodness. So then I replied being like, I really hope you're drunk. Like, so I did get an apology. So that's why I was like a bit hesitant to say it. But that's a good thing. Growth
it's such a brilliant. Someone going, you've changed so much. I'm like,
thank
you. I would hate if you thought I was the same girl I was when I was 18.
Yeah. Different. We're all different people from that age, but you see people who haven't changed. I seen your TikTok the other day, and I was like saying how these people are like really bad drunks. And I'm not going to say too much information because I don't want to give away the person who it is, but this person who I was really close to in a way, I think I told you the other day, who I was really close to in a way when I was like 18, like last year in school, like we would have been like close or whatever. And this person was a really bad, nasty drunk. I bump into this person recently, like in the past couple of weeks on a night out. And at the start of the night, the person was sober, grand, we're chatting away. There was a wee bit of we have had bad blood from the past or whatever. We haven't spoken years and years and years. And obviously I've grown so much since then. This person gets drunk. And I look at him and I'm like, oh my God, you haven't changed. And he starts being really nasty. And he says some really nasty, horrible accusations towards me. And I was like, oh my God, firstly, you haven't changed. And secondly, you're such a horrible drug. Like, what the fuck?
It's insane. If I thought I was ever going to get drunk and start like chatting shit, especially people from your past, like, I wouldn't drink. I couldn't even drink. Like, I really wouldn't. Oh my God.
There's so many people
anything,
that are just
I'm
turn
a lick arse
nasty.
when I'm drunk. Like, people who do not deserve me to be nice to them, I'm like, you're so beautiful and I love you.
No, whenever I have a drink, I literally walk past every random person in the street. I'm like, well, I love your skirt. Oh my God, your eyes are so beautiful. I'm like, why do I compliment everyone?
But you definitely wouldn't even say it sober. That's so me. Although I always say the one thing that I feel like whenever I was younger, I was actually better at like being nasty when people deserved it, right?
Yeah.
Like I was actually good at sticking up for myself. See now, someone can be an absolute cunt and I actually have pulled myself on and being like, stop it. And I could be like overcompensating being nice when they should be apologizing and I'm like, stop it.
No, it's insane.
Stop it. That's my one thing that I'm like, I need to work on that.
Yeah.
You know, situations that I'm like, why was I nice?
Why
was I nice?
Honestly,
Why did I not just say you're a cunt, fuck off?
That just says so much more about you as a person though. Like that you're
but
like
I wish I did
nicer.
it because it's just
Yeah. Well, I always think that psychology has something to do with that as well. I hate to be one of those girls who's like, psychology. But like, do you know what I mean?
True,
like,
though.
But like, because it just makes you understand why people act like that.
Yeah.
Like people who I initially would have been like, oh my God, I hate them. Now I'm like, well, obviously they're doing that for a reason. Like they're not just, no one's just a dickhead for no, well, some people are. But like, there's always a reason someone becomes the way they are.
Yeah.
And so I'm always give people like the benefit of the doubt. But I'm like, sometimes people are actually, they just like take it and they'll just walk all over you. So there's such a fine line of like understanding, but also sticking up for yourself.
Yeah.
I feel like, when I was younger, I wouldn't have taken it. Like I would just be like, no, you're a
Yeah,
bitch.
me
But
too.
like now I'm like, I love your skirt. I'm sorry.
I see your whole like the sort of mental health journey from where you were until where you're now. Do you think was it just psychology from doing the degree that helped you, or if you were doing any other things to maybe help you grow as a person?
So much therapy.
Yeah.
So much therapy. I think everyone should do therapy.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I think
Everyone.
it's such a brilliant thing, and I think if you have access to it, especially with the NHS, or if you're in uni and you can go through uni, like I'm like, it benefits everyone. And I think now more than ever, there's no like, well, there is a bit of stigma, but not as much. And I'm just like, it was so brilliant. Like my friends had to they had to have an intervention for me because like it was bad for a while. Just whenever, you know, when you're hiding stuff and all, and then it came, my friends sat me down on holidays and they were like, you need to go and see someone like ASAP. And I was like, oh fuck, right, okay, if they're noticing I should. And then for like a year, I repeated second year because I just was like, I know loads of people have a shit second year, but I like was the same. So I had a bit of a nervy bee, had to repeat second year, and then it was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah.
Like it was just so brilliant. I went into therapy, like went into like programs and stuff, and then resat the year, and it was honestly like life changing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
It's
people
just-
still think maybe, obviously there, as we said, there isn't as much of a stigma around going to therapy and stuff like that, but I think a lot of people think that you need to go and talk about issues. Like my sister, for example, she goes like numerous times a week to different levels of therapy. But one of the ones she goes to, she literally is like to me, like, I literally just go in and talk shit.
Yeah.
She's like, I just literally go in and I'm like, actually hasn't been this bad, but this person's a cunt, this person's a cunt.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's all it is. It's where I think the word like counselling or therapy, people's like, you have to like be going in and talking
Yeah.
about deep shit. Where
You
it's
don't have
Sometimes
to.
you just need someone to listen.
Yeah.
And someone to like, a lot of the time mine wasn't even, because I actually genuinely thought there was nothing wrong with me. Like I was like, everything I'm doing is normal. Like this is justified and like I'm right to feel this way. And then I would like talk to them and they'd be like, that's insane. Like
Yeah, and you
they
have
probably didn't say that, but they were like, it's not normal for you to be feeling like
Yeah.
that. Like they would like make me realize
But
that it
you're so
wasn't.
oblivious to it at the time, because I remember I
Big
think I seen
time.
another TikTok, we were saying something like, I don't care about getting better or something like that,
Yeah.
and that was me as well. So whenever I was going through my really bad mental health around the same age you were, I was like, work was giving me therapy, and I was like, I don't
Yeah.
want that. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm fine. But then you actually want to make yourself better, and you
Yeah.
actually start doing the work. You're like, oh my fucking god, it helps so fucking much.
Like I thought, like I actually genuinely did think that people who said they were happy were like lying. I was like, no one's actually happy. Like everyone's just plodding on, getting through life and all. And now I'm like the happiest I've ever been in my
Yeah.
life, and I'm like,
Slay.
that is just so possible. And it's not even cringe, but like it's just so true. Like it's is, and like therapy is so brilliant. And I hate that even I think as well in Ireland, it's still we're just so far behind. And it was just so a crazy thing. I never even say it on TikTok that I had like been through anything or like any of my struggles, whatever, until probably the last 6 months. So I was like, I don't even want to. I think once you tell people you've had that struggle, then they see you in a different light. Still, that they're just like, then people just treat you differently. See, I always think if you ever talk about having issues with your body or food, then all of a sudden if you do a fit check, your body checking, or like you know, people are like,
people are looking to call you out on it.
A big time. So I never really mentioned it until I was like fully better.
But that's the thing, everything's, we say this all the time, everything's a journey. Like no matter what, if you have like overcame things in your past, that does not mean that you can have you can have a bad day and feel that way again. Do you know what I mean? Like even I would say all the time, like for my loss of weight, obviously I've gained a lot of confidence, and I've just learned to accept there's always going to be things I don't like. Doesn't mean some mornings I don't wake up and be like, you are actually a fat mess, I'm not getting dressed, I refuse to put even clothes on today. It's like an up and down thing. Like you have good days and bad days, no matter how confident. Like you could be the most perfect beautiful person on the planet and actually have more insecurities than anyone. Do you know what I mean?
Also it's all about how you speak to yourself, because you don't, like, your brain doesn't know when you're taking the piss. So basically whenever you say to yourself, like, making self-deprecating jokes, which everyone does, but if you're like, oh, I'm a fat whale, like I'm so ugly, even if you're taking the piss, the more you say it, the more you believe it. So if you literally just switch those jokes and start going, oh my god, I'm literally Bella Hadid, I'm so gorgeous and skinny and amazing, you're gonna believe it. Like you're eventually you are going to say it, because like people always ask me, they're like, how are you so confident? And I'm like, I literally just tell myself I'm perfect. And like, I know I'm not perfect, but like it makes you think, like, because at the end of the day, you have to live in this body. You only get one body. You have to live with this for the rest of your life. So you're going to sit in your whole life and hate your fucking 5-head. Just get used to it now. You may as well take a year to learn to love it than be 90 and be like, oh my god, that was the best I've ever looked. And like I hated myself. It's just insane. You may as well try.
You may as well give it a go.
Give it a go.
Give it a
real.
go. There's no harm in trying or anything.
Not a bit.
So should we move on to Wait Till You Hear the Crack?
Yeah.
So tell us a wee story that you're going to tell us with You Hear the Crack.
This is actually...
Sorry, can I interrupt? I was stalking your TikTok earlier and you were like, yeah, I'm 6'2", and I was like, is she fucking 6'2"? 6'2"? I think there's no way.
Because I was like, what height are you, just for reference? I'm like 6'2", and then all my followers are like, she's actually nearly 6'3". She's
I see that. I was like, what is she actually?
Because someone actually came up to me last week and she was like, is your name Aoife? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I wasn't going to come up to you because I thought Aoife's 6'2", this couldn't be her. And I was like, oh,
no way, that's so funny.
Because that's hilarious. I'm obviously not 6'2".
You don't look 6'2" at all in the videos. I was like, wait, that's surely
people always say that I look tall, so I'm like, okay, well, I'll go 6'2".
I actually, to be fair, I would probably say you, from looking at you in camera, I would probably say I would have guessed you were slightly taller.
Yeah, maybe like 5'7". I wish I was 5'7".
What height are you?
5'4".
Yeah, no, I would say I would guess around that height, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry for interrupting. Go on ahead, tell us your wee story.
This is the first time I've ever experienced, like, do you know how everyone says people on the internet are like FBI workers? Yeah. I don't doubt that for a second. I think people can find out absolutely anything. But like, I am so, for someone who yaps as much as I do, I'm so private about my private life. Like, I actually do keep things very secretly. Like, things that I don't want on the internet are not on the internet.
Yeah, we speak about that all the time, don't we?
People don't ever realise. And people always say that, and now I get to say it. Do you know, people being like, you only see what we want you to see. Yeah. It's true. But, no, like, so I had been going on a couple of dates with this fella, right? Obviously, I broke up with my ex of 2 years, like 4 months ago. So, been going on dates or whatever, but like, obviously, I'm not flaunting it all over my TikTok. I think I captioned one of my videos, maybe like, picnic date, like, fit check, literally that. But I have a second account, and I had talked about things that I've been doing on the dates with this fella, and I'd literally just been like, oh, we went on a picnic today, or like, we did this, no details about him. We don't follow each other on Instagram, me and the fella, because he doesn't have like a... He got locked out of his Instagram. He used the one from like first year of school when he was like 13. I think it has like 20 followers. I don't know. Or he has a wife and whatever. Who knows? So anyway, don't follow him on Instagram. Don't have him on Facebook. Didn't even have him on Snapchat until like literally last week. Only text each other. Okay? This is so relevant. We literally only text each other. And had never mentioned his name, not even to my private story on Snapchat, because we just call him his nickname on my private story on Snapchat. Me and Orla were on live the other day. Sorry, Orla's sitting over there. Me and Orla were on live the other night, and someone, basically the fella came over and helped me build my chest of drawers because I needed a power tool or whatever. I couldn't build it myself. I'm just a girl. So he built it for me. But someone commented, we were doing say it or shot it, and someone commented, say the name of the fella who built your chest of drawers. And I took the shot, obviously, because I was never going to say that. Someone comments his name in the chat. Like, commented his first name. God. And like, it actually was so insane to me because I was like, I trust that someone would look through my following list. Don't follow each other on anything. Don't follow each other on anything. Not on TikTok, not on Instagram, not on anything.
That makes me think it's been someone that has seen you together and knew.
But it gets worse because then I was like, right, it has to be someone that knows us. Because it was like a fake account. It had like no following, It followed like 22 people, but they were like Love Island stars, like something like that. No post, no anything. So I went on to see if they had any reposts or whatever. The only video they'd reposted 2 videos. Sorry, I'm lying. They'd reposted 2 videos. One of them was my breakup announcement video. Right. And they reposted it the day it was posted, which was back in May, the start of May.
Weird.
So
that is weird.
Like, I have another stalker. I've had a stalker before. I need another restraining order. But like,
you've had a stalker before?
Yeah, I got stalked last year. It was
like
insane.
Proper?
Yeah, like had to like.
And how do you know this isn't the same person?
That's just. Well, I don't really. But like, I have an order of protection and a restraining order against the fella. So
can you tell us the story?
Yeah. It's actually kind of crazy. I'm like talking to you about my phone getting stolen. Like I had like casually I had a stalker.
We're like, tell us your craziest story. She says, my phone got stolen. And then she's like, yeah, the time I had a stalker. Tell us.
No, well, basically, I used to work in a cafe. And it was a non-profit for feeding the homeless. Mm-hmm. So nice. We'd have loads of homeless people come in and we would just give them teas, coffees, like toast and stuff. So a lot of the time, also the drug problem in Liverpool is really extreme. So often the people that were coming in were like on drugs and stuff because obviously a lot of them were addicts. Through no fault of their own. But so this fella came in and he was acting really erratic, like really just didn't seem like he was sober. And he was like picking stuff up and like going to throw stuff, but like going, oh, I'm really joking and all. And then he came over to me and he was like, Julia, and like started calling me Julia. And I was like, me? Like, I'm not Julia. Didn't tell him my name though.
Yeah.
But he was like, Julia, I've missed you. Like, I love you. Like, come back to me and all. Like, all this stuff. And all, like, would not leave. Picks up like one of the cake stands and goes to like throw it at me. And I was like, mate, like, what's going on? So then he put it down and I was like, can you leave please? Like, trying to be really polite. And he was like, yeah, but I'll wait out there. And I was like, no, don't wait, go home. And he was like, yeah, I'll follow you home later though. And I was like, perf, thank you. And so he,
I suppose probably though at that time you are just laughing that off.
Was laughing it off, didn't take it seriously for ages. So I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, get out. Got him to go out and then he stuck to his word. So he was like,
do you have like any security or anything in the cafe?
Because it was a non-profit, there just wasn't that much budget for that kind of thing. And like 99% of the homeless people were so lovely and like such good people. They just had found themselves in unfortunate circumstances because obviously the economy and stuff. But he was waiting for me after work and I was like, oh well, now I can't walk home because it's like a 20-minute walk home and it's it's not in the city centre. So I was like, right, I had to get a lift home that day. And then he, for the next like 2 weeks, every time I'd be in work, he'd be there. And so we had to like start locking the doors. And basically where I worked, it was down a hill. So every time we'd go to unlock the door to let a customer in, he would like poke his head around the top of the hill and start sprinting down the hill to like get into the coffee shop. And every day it was like, Julia, like I love you, like come back to me and all. And when I wasn't in work, he'd like threaten to kill me to my coworkers. Like he was like saying he was going to kill me if he couldn't have me. And I was like, oh my god. No, it was awful. Like I'm laughing out. It was actually so scary. And he like used to bring me little gifts and stuff. And he brought in like cruise ship, like leaflets. Like he used to bring in leaflets of cruise ships and be like, I'm taking Julia on this. Like I'm taking Julia. Let me find. Oh, will you pass my phone?
I wonder who the hell Julia is.
Who's Julia? Like literally.
Who's Julia?
The only thing I can think,
Charlie
I don't know, to me it's like, it sounds like psychosis or something.
See, so that's 100%. What I thought. I'll find you. He wrote me a note whenever I wasn't in work one day and left it. I'll find it now. But I thought obviously it must be psychosis because they offered, like the police were actually really helpful for once. Yeah. And they offered to deport him. And I was like, no, because if he's going through a psychotic break and then he comes out of it, like in another country, like I was like, that would be awful. I was like, he just needs help. Like he genuinely just needs psychiatric help. But so I wasn't in work one day and he slipped, or sorry, I was in work actually. We had rang the police because he wouldn't leave and like was threatening me more and stuff. And when I tell you like for weeks on end, he was coming every single shift that I was in work and like just I kind of like blocked it out now. I posted a story time like a few months ago about it, and it's like 10 minutes long, but he slipped this note through the door. So I think he had heard, also when he was leaving, he kept like saying really weird stuff. Like he'd be like, you're just worried that you couldn't take it. Like it's so big. Like it would be the best you ever had. Like really inappropriate stuff. And I was like, can you please leave? Like, and he was like, what? Is it harassment? So like he knew what he was doing.
Oh,
like
God.
he knew exactly what he was doing. And then also I asked the police officer, he pled guilty whenever he went to the first one. I was like, that really surprised me because I thought he would be like, no, we're in love. And the police officer was a woman. And so she was like, why did you do it then if you're pleading guilty? And he was like, well, she smiled at me. Like
up.
that was his real reason. I was like, oh, that's so typical. I was like, I literally work in a cafe. Like, of course I smile at you. I smile at everyone who comes in. But so he left me this note. We had rang the police, so we'd locked the doors. And he went down to, there was a wee corner shop at the bottom of the hill. And he went in there for like 20 minutes. And then every time we go to like open the door, he'd be like poke his head around the corner. It was so creepy. He left this note saying, I think he heard someone say my name because he said, hi, Amy. So Amy's a lot closer than Julia. But he goes, hi, Amy. Sorry about the chaos I make. I just want to be friends first. Winky face. Maybe watch some movies or drink coffee at Greg's on Sunday. Greg's for a first date. Come on now. If yes, just give next door convenience store Mr. No Name beside the car park entry. You get what I mean? Okay, you can call me Mr. Newborn, or call me Freddie. And like his name's not either of those things. Like I'll not say his name, but it's not either of those things. And so I was like, oh, and then the back of it, he'd written yes or no. Like I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that on the camera, but like tick yes
box.
Like, are we 12? It was insane.
My God.
So I had to get like an order of protection, and then so he went to court. If he had pled not guilty, then I would have had to go and testify. But he pled guilty, thankfully. And then, oh my God, even crazier. So looked him up. So he didn't, this was all in person. None of it was online whatsoever. Looked him up, like his name, because obviously we found out his full name then. And he had 60,000 subscribers on YouTube.
What?
And like 100,000 Instagram followers.
And when you looked at his YouTube, there was videos there?
Yeah.
And did he appear to be different in the videos?
Some of them were like quite normal. He was a gamer. So he was like a gamer YouTuber.
So he wasn't homeless?
No. Oh, sorry, no, he wasn't homeless.
Oh
I never mentioned that. He was literally just a guy. Like he literally was not homeless. And because that's why at the beginning, obviously, I assumed he was homeless because a lot of them do come in and they're like
and he
on
literally
substances. But
is a friggin' like YouTuber.
He's a YouTuber.
Mental.
And he never, I looked up like all his accounts, whatever, none of them were follow back. Like,
did he still post videos to this day?
I never checked.
Does he, there's so many questions for you. We're like, whenever he was like convicted as such by the police, did they give him any psychiatric testing?
Don't think so.
To me, it sounds like there's like a personality disorder.
100%. Because that's what they said to me. I was like, I don't even want anything to happen to him. I genuinely just want him to get help because he truly needs it. Like
that's
I was
so
like,
concerning,
it seemed
though.
to me it didn't, because I posted TikTok about it and I was like, I just wanted him to get psychiatric help, whatever. And someone was like, yeah, congrats to you for posting his breakdown on the internet. And I was like, I also didn't deserve that though.
No,
do you know what I mean? Like
thing.
I was like, I have such sympathy for him, but I did not deserve to be the victim of that.
Yeah,
so,
no way.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true.
And I did have sympathy.
It sounds like I worked in mental health units in the past, and the amount of people that I've worked with that have had like horrific incidents leading up to that and nothing be done up until like complete like, because even people that were put in jail for years before they were actually mentally tested, and it turned out they had serious like schizophrenia.
I know.
So what they were doing, it's crazy.
Because like there was also at the time there was like a new drug that was going around Liverpool, and they thought that he might have been on that and just didn't test it. They were like, oh, because I walked past him actually another day while this was all happening, and he was like naked in the shopping centre.
Oh my God.
And there was all police around him and all. And I was like, how can you look at that and not think that he needs help?
He definitely needs help for something.
Obviously does.
It's just the easiest thing to do is to like resolve your issue, and be like, okay, he's not allowed to come near you. Next.
But even at that, like I showed there was like, it was a block where the shop was. There was other stuff around there, and I showed like it's American to say groundskeeper, but I don't know what you call them. Do you know the fella who looks after everything? I showed him the note, and I was like, if this fella comes down, can you just like whatever, like make sure he doesn't come in? And he was like, well, you're a good looking girl, what do you expect?
Shut up.
And I was like, oh
what
my
the
God,
fuck
like you're
is wrong with people?
It was insane. And he was like, did you say anything to him? And I was like, he's like 40 years old. I'm literally 21. Like, I was like, I obviously wasn't provoking him in any way. And you know what I mean? And also, not
Why the
that
fuck
it
is he trying to
matters.
turn the blame on you?
Also, like, literally, I was like, not that it matters whatsoever, but like, in this job, I'd be her slick back, no makeup, the biggest, baggiest jumper ever. Like, do you know, it wasn't even as if they could in any way, they would try and blame it on you no matter what.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's actually insane. But so he got arrested in the end. They were like,
is he in jail now? Do you know?
no, he's not. He got like 100 hours service and then
That's crazy.
something else. He's also like
Oh my
banned
goodness,
for
you've
life.
no
from-
idea how much you actually have to do to go to jail. It's actually
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
How much you actually have to do time in jail is crazy.
Yeah, because I think they were like basically it's empty threats, and I was like, yeah, empty threats, but like he did follow me home.
Yeah, that's
like
fucked.
it's kind of scary.
It's so
and
scary.
then I was like freaking out about last week, about them coming. I was like, oh my god, what if it's them? Someone texted me yesterday off an unknown number going hi, and I was like,
Please no.
who is this? And they were like, oh, I think I got the wrong number, sorry, but it was on WhatsApp, so like it would say my full name.
Yeah.
And also, he didn't know my full name. And then when he got the restraining order, it would have said Aoife O Farrell, which is really annoying. But I've seen him a couple
Oh
times
shit!
since.
Yeah, you would have
He
got your full
didn't see-
name.
Yeah, but I walked past him a few times and he's passed no remarks. So
But do you know what's
I
mad
think
as
he
well?
wouldn't recognise me.
He is online. Like this happened in person, but when you think about it, if you put yourself out there online, the amount of you don't know who's watching your stuff.
Yeah.
Like people like that
It's
could be watching your
crazy.
stuff.
Yeah,
you
like
get
I
something.
said to him, I fully lied at one stage. Not like it wasn't anything bad, but my whole family was away on holiday over summer there, and I completely made it out like it was just my mum and sister. My stepdad was still in the house because
Yeah.
it's not even the idea that someone's going to come rob the house. Like, good luck if you want some B&M live, laugh, love canvases. Do you know what I mean? Like, enjoy. But it was more that I was in my head. Like, obviously, I actually don't post live as much anymore, like as I'll usually like wait, but sometimes you'll post like a story or something and I was going in my head, fuck, they'll be able to work out she's out of the house, so she's bound to be returning in the next few hours. I'll just stand at the front door and wait on her. So that's how much I've started thinking about things, that I pretended that I wasn't alone. Yeah, that's how much I, because I know for a fact it's not hard to work out where I live.
And like there has been influencers from Ireland who have like posted their like location of them, like for example the Shirley Murphy thing, where she was like in a restaurant and this guy who was trolling her, who found her location from the restaurant she was in, came into the restaurant and like attacked her from behind because she posted on her story that she was there.
Oh my god!
Like she split her face open or something like that.
Like
and
literally,
I never even heard of that.
Yes, so
Yeah.
you have. Do you know Shirley
God
Murphy?
love her. Yeah.
Yeah, so
God love her.
Yes, yeah, so
it was only a few weeks after I was at like an award show that she was at, and they were talking about it, and I think she posted not long ago, like a few months ago, that his like he'd been like convicted or whatever, but
she couldn't post about it until it was in court or whatever. But
Yeah.
like that's what I mean. You have to be very careful of posting where you are at that exact moment. A lot of I'm bad at it. I post where I am exactly at that time, which is
I know.
You kind of
I'm like
like-
also videos on my balcony and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
people could so easy, if you knew Manchester, you could so easily work it out.
Yeah.
Like it just people, you actually don't even
you
understand.
have to
how
really
scary
think about
is.
it. And it's so funny because I don't know, I nearly think I've got this, not literally, but nearly like an invincible feeling. Like I'm so naive in that way that I'm like,
Yeah.
if someone comes up to me in the street, like I will punch them. Me that literally could not punch myself out of a paper bag.
Yeah.
But I have this mentality, like try me.
yeah.
Do you know?
It's also the idea of like, oh, it won't happen to me.
Yeah,
And
no,
like,
I'm like that.
yeah, I could. Like,
I am
it
literally
really
like that.
could.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, the world's
But
crazy.
I do
It's
say
crazy.
sometimes, I don't know, how do you feel with, before I say what I'm going to say, obviously you're going to get people recognizing you and stuff now. How does that, how do you feel?
My only thing is I like get so nervous because I'm like, obviously people have an idea. I would say I'm exactly the same online as I am in person. I don't
Yeah.
think I'm any different. But like it just makes me nervous because say I'm having a really bad day.
Yeah.
I feel like a dick because then people expect you to be on your best behavior at all times. And if I'm like, oh my god, hi, it's so nice to meet you, whatever, and then I'm not what they think I'm going to be, I'm so worried people are going to be like, actually I met her, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
God knows if you mention any influencer, there's always someone who
Yeah.
says,
There's gonna
I know
be
I met her,
someone.
she's horrible.
Always,
Yeah.
always,
It's like-
always, always.
I
There's
don't
going to be
know.
someone. See, what I was going to say, what makes me more anxious, I have no issue people coming up and chatting or whatever, and I actually don't even really, like, if I come across like a dick, I don't really give a second thought because I'm like, that's me, like, sorry, sometimes I can maybe like not be as pleasant, but I always am just the way I
There's
am.
always yourself.
My biggest thing is I can't cope when I can see someone looking and talking and sometimes even as far as pointing and they don't come over.
Yeah.
That makes me more awkward because in my head I'm going, do they hate me are they going to come attack me?
Are they making fun of me?
Or are they going to literally come beat me up? So that to me is worse. So sometimes people come up and they're like, I'm so sorry for coming up, but I was looking at you and blah, blah. I'm like, no, I'd rather
you come up.
I'd rather that and we can
if
chat.
you can see them. Yeah. Because then also it's like, because I've just started dating again, like whenever I was like going on dates and stuff, you can see people going like, and like at me on a first date, and I'm like, that's so awkward for my date who maybe I didn't tell I had TikTok, and they're like, do you know that girl? And I'm like, no.
That's happened to me before as well. It's so funny. Awkward. You're like, yeah.
I always like, I went on one first date a while ago though, and like I'm so delusional, like for real. So I was like ringing my housemate, ringing Orla, going like, this is the love of my life. Like this is on the first date. And we bumped into this girl in a bar and she was like, oh my God, like I love you on TikTok. And I was like, meet my husband. Like this is my husband. She was like, are you not single? I was like, yeah. So like that was so embarrassing. I was like, what do you think of him? Like in front of his face. We're running for the hills. Like what a freak. What an actual freak. And she was like, yeah, he's good looking. And I was like, so this is so-and-so. This is Anna. Like literally introducing them as if like probably I'm ever going to see this one again. Like, oh, it's so embarrassing.
I know that the night out. One time I've just met this guy and he was like a bit older, didn't know I don't.
Well, you fucked off to what, Barcelona or somewhere?
Oh, that's another story for another time. I fucking spoke about that before. But this is random right out. And then this guy was chatting away and this girl comes up and she's like, oh my God, is this your boyfriend? Your guy beside me was like, yeah, why? And then we started getting with the guy and she was like, oh my God, I don't know you have a boyfriend. I was like, yeah, this is him, nice to meet him, blah blah.
Then you're talking about a first date the next week. Like, it's awful. I don't mind people coming up to me because they're always so nice.
You're
like
a Leo.
I'm a Leo. I love attention. But like everyone that's come up to me, especially in Liverpool and all, are like the nicest girls ever. Like I genuinely have the nicest followers. But so thank God, because I would die if someone.
I say this too. I'm very grateful for my like audience because that I think such a big thing. Whenever you can feel like I would be friends with these people in real life. So like I always say that like that's so much more important than like quantity. Or
because also sometimes like you see girls and stuff and boys alike who are like such nice people, and then their comments are just every single video is full of hate, and you're like, what did they do to deserve this? Literally nothing. Like I feel so blessed, like genuinely, because I feel like especially in Irish TikTok at the minute, everyone hates everyone.
Wild.
It's bad,
like it's so mean, all of it, and I'm just like, I'm glad I don't feel like I'm even a part of Irish TikTok because I'm in England. I don't know. I feel like people don't think of me when they think of it.
To be fair, but I kind of feel like that up here. I feel like we're our own bubble.
Yeah.
I really do. Even like sometimes when we're going like say in groups down to events down south, there's some people that are so lovely, but there's definitely like they look at the ones from up north and they're like 100. Every single person I've ever went to an event with. I actually don't notice it too much, but there is definitely a wee bit of a divide there. Most
like,
are so
can we
lovely.
Get over this?
I have noticed the divide. Even for example, EP at the weekend, every single person who fucking makes content from down south was invited, and I'm like, there was like no one from North. There was a couple, but like not many from up north were invited.
That's like the same. It's like the opposite then of like Primark trips. It's all the northern influencers, and I'm like, this is so funny. Like, why are there such separation? Because I noticed that about EP as well. I was like, this is crazy.
Primark. That's when I was supposed to. I was technically asked to go to the Primark trip, but in my head, so I don't dislike Taylor Swift, right? I don't dislike her. I don't dislike her, but I could probably sing all the songs that like most people could. I don't know all the like random ones, like the surprise songs and all this. So then whenever I was like, no, I actually, to be fair, Billy was already going, but I was literally like Billy McCormick. Like I actually said, Abigail does the lovely fashion clothes. She's obsessed with Taylor Swift. I actually said her as well, but I think at that stage it was like decided who was going. But I just don't think that's fair, right? So I seen, she's ever see the wee young girl on TikTok, Tallulah Metcalf?
No.
So she got slated the other day. And to be fair though, right? Do what you want to do, but she literally had posted before saying like I'm just so glad I'm not a Swiftie. Like I'm so glad that I hate Taylor Swift. Publicly said it. So then she got a load of stick for going and getting invited. And she then done a video being like, well, I got invited. It's not like you would have got my ticket. But there's other influencers out there that would have. So that's why I don't agree with like, just because you're invited that you have a right to go. To me, there was queues of thousands of people standing outside that stadium wanting a ticket.
Tickets,
So like, why me that wouldn't have even knew the flipping surprise songs would I have been allowed to go?
Yeah, I don't want anything. Are you a Swiftie?
Yeah. I would. I'm scared. I would have said I used to be huge. I had tickets. Like I literally had tickets to go, and I sold them because I was meant to go with my ex, so I was like, it's kind of not the same now. And like, my housemate hates Taylor Swift. They were for Liverpool. And I was like, I would have loved her so much. And then over the past like 6 months, I kind of just was like, just kind of lost interest. And then I was like, if I'm not so excited, there's so many people who would absolutely adore the tickets. So I was like, I'll just sell them. Like,
that's
if I'm
my
not so
thing
buzzing to go.
I'm not afraid to say, if she's the only artist that comes on, I'm like, next song immediately. I don't know what it is, I can't listen to her. But I posted a TikTok about it, and my followers sort of goes down. I lost like hundreds of followers that I didn't like her.
No,
see, I would be impartial to a All Too Well 10-minute version on the bus.
People
It's so emotional.
Ruthless though when it comes to Taylor Swift, like ruthless. I have this thing that I'm like, I think it's an age thing too. So I'm 28, coming 29 literally in November. So when I was younger and Taylor Swift was a thing, she was kind of like don't get me wrong, like You Belong With Me and all bop, but like she was kind of like the wee horsey girl in school.
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't
me.
like
oh my god, you were the wee horsey girl.
It wasn't like this, like, oh my god, she's a queen, she's this, she's that. Like, it was just like,
kind of like, it was like young Justin Bieber. People kind of
where
made
I
fun
was
of her.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
I was Justin
I
Bieber.
love Justin Bieber.
Where Billy McCormick talks about it, like Taylor Swift's been there through all my stages of life and what she was bringing out related. And I was like, I was probably like blocked in Thompson's while they were going through like high school breakups. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so true.
Like maybe that's it too. I don't know.
I reckon so. We've literally had so many questions. I mean, like loads and loads sent through, but we're running out of time. So I'll try and pick a few good ones. Okay. We'll try and make the answers short and sweet, and then we've got a few dilemmas. What time are we on? We're probably not doing phrases now, are we?
Yeah, but it's fine.
Yeah. We'll whack it out. None of us are in a rush to do anything after, are we?
Not at all.
Sweet to the bait. Right. So we'll do a few questions from Instagram, and then we will move on to a few dilemmas because we have been rambling on for ages here. Who do you get your fashion inspo from? Who do you get your fashion inspo from?
I honestly think I'm an acclamation of every single pretty girl on my For You page. Like, I literally I'm boys. I dress like a 9-year-old boy. But like Pinterest as well. I'm literally a broken record about that. But like literally just go on Pinterest and then you have all the stuff in your wardrobe. Coming from someone who like, I am so bad for buying clothes, to be honest, but it's all like vintage and stuff. But like you will have all the basics in your wardrobe. Pinterest is my biggest fashion inspiration. Like I literally just look and I'm like, I could create that. Now I'm not going to look like her, but I can do something similar.
Nice.
It'll be fine.
I need you to style me. I've
actually heard so many people. I'm not a Pinterest kind of person. Like I'll do Pinterest.
I don't have the patience.
If I'm trying to like get a vibe for like home decor or something. But
I'm not.
I'm such not a fashion girl. Like I am the most just not at all. I'll do like a nice outfit here and there, but so many people that I would look at and be like, you're so good at like styling, always say Pinterest.
Yeah. Like honestly, it's the best app ever. I wouldn't even say like I don't even dress anything special, but
no,
like
I love your style.
Just...
It's cool.
Thank you.
It is sick.
But definitely Pinterest. Sure.
Would you ever get into acting? Your Cinderella performance was 10-10. What does that mean?
That was definitely someone from my primary school.
Lauren O'Hagan.
Lauren O'Hagan. I love her.
Were you Cinderella in primary school?
Yeah. I was Cinderella. And in fact, I was so bad at singing, they had to dub my singing. And I was 11. Like they were like, it's so bad. They had to get someone to stand at the front of the stage and like sing.
That's
for
so
me.
funny.
I had to lip sync. I was meant to be a TikToker. No, I could never be an actor. Oh god, I'd be terrible. Terrible.
I'm good at being myself, but see, anytime we have to do anything where you kind of have to read a script or kind of act in a wee bit, I'm like, I can't fucking do it.
It's like I'm so bad at like for brand deals like that too. Yeah. Unless you can always tell if I like genuinely like the product because it won't sound like I'm being like, and it's great for your skin. The only time Lee Sheridan made me like act in a few TikToks, and I was like, oh, like I've got more box.
I've seen it.
So awkward.
Because they're so funny, but like they're it's not like, how do you describe it? It's not like unbelievable acting, but it's like so fucking funny.
It's like 40-year-old mom humor.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like,
I love it. It's like those simple tasks that he does as well. We need to get him on the pod.
Yeah. You do. It'd be hilarious.
Do you think you'll stay in Liverpool or Manchester forever or end up back home, or what do you think?
Maybe controversial, probably not. But like, if I was ever to have kids, don't know if I will have kids. If I'm ever to have kids, I'm not having English babies. Okay. They have to have an Irish accent. Yeah, sorry, but they do. Cillian Murphy said it first, so don't cancel me. But I don't know if I would have kids, but I don't see myself living in Ireland for a long time.
No.
Like, definitely gonna stay in Manchester for a few years. Would love to live in London, but who can ever afford it?
Yeah, fair.
Oh, it's crazy.
Like, it's insane. Maybe if I'm like rich and famous.
It's one of them things, I suppose, like to do it. Like I lived in London for a while, but I was managing my sister, so she's living in a model house. So then
that's crazy.
I was living in like imagine a house, right? I suppose like student accommodation, but it is literally a box room with a built-in wardrobe and a shared bathroom, and it was £1,200 a month, and that was back when I was maybe like 2021, I don't know.
Crazy.
So that's like years ago. So imagine what it is now. So then it's like, if you want the slightest bit of luxury, imagine how much more you have to pay. So you've kind of to pick between.
It just makes you realise like all these influencers are living in these like sky highs in London. It's like your brand deals must make you like
bang.
like 20 grand.
Mad money. It's crazy. And I'm friends with a few people who live in London, do socials, and the money they make is absolutely mental.
Good for them.
Dara Green moved over to London actually recently.
Yeah, I saw that, and he finally got a flat. Good for him.
I know he's on the sofa for a while there.
I
know. What is your type, and could you see yourself in a relationship anytime soon?
Ooh, my type. Oh, so typical, like mullet mustache.
That's my type.
Love it.
Are we the same person? Do you like tattoos as well?
We're gonna be fine. Oh, I love patchwork tattoos.
Yeah, patchwork tattoos, mullet mustache. That's my fucking type. Around my height.
Love. Bit of weird, maybe. I love natural teeth.
Yeah.
Like I had braces for 2.5 years. I had to have an operation on my teeth because they were so messed up, like upside down, backwards, everything. And so I love a natural smile. Like it's just.
Oh my god, you're describing me. Do you fancy me? Is that what it is?
Can I get one over?
I never braces. No.
Your teeth are crazy.
Thanks, girl.
So straight. Oh my
it's like
god.
my biggest flex. My teeth.
Oh, no, yeah. So someone who looks like they haven't washed in a while, for sure.
If I washed today for the first time in about 5 days.
I'm getting like excited. Like someone who looks like they've never seen like a shop, like the shop and like all their clothes are like picked up from the side of the road.
Yeah.
Like old Carhartt and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like basically how I dress most of the time. That's what I want in a boy. Love myself.
That's somewhere.
Yeah. Always a short king though. Was always a short king girl. But since I've been single, like so tall. It's been really crazy.
I don't like really tall, to be honest.
I'm starting to get it.
I bet you're a gal. I think it's different.
I feel like I always have to go tall because I'm 5'6", 5'7". Like, do you know what I mean? Like
my ex was like 5. He's gonna get angry if I say I'd say he was like 5'9". He said he was 5'11". Absolute shite. Anyone who says they're 5'11", they're actually 5'9", because if they're 5'11", they'd be close enough to 6 foot to say 6 foot and get away with it.
My sister always says she's 5'11", and I'm like, you are 6 foot though, and she's like, I'm not. I'm 5'11", but that's because it's a girl. That's the opposite.
I say I'm 5'10", but I think I'm like 5'9.5".
Yeah, you're not 5'10". God love you.
Yeah. Short kings for the win. Short kings always have better face cards and also they're going to treat you better because they've never had to like just get away with it.
But there is such thing as short man syndrome where you can get short kings who are absolute cunts.
So there's a divide, I think. Like short fella syndrome is like 5'7". Yeah. Then like 5'9" is the sweet spot, I think.
Yeah, sweet spot. That is right. I wouldn't say 5'9" and 5'10" is short king, would you?
No, that's really tall.
So tall, girl.
That's too tall for me, actually.
Oh my god, am I a short king? I didn't know this. It's
different in Ireland though.
But you're not short enough to be in the short man.
Okay, fair.
And also Ireland, like everyone's smaller in Ireland as well. Like I'm so tall here, and it's really crazy to me.
Fair. So you're enjoying single life, no relationship anytime soon.
Oh yeah, that was a part of the question.
Going with the flow.
Going with the flow. I just take it as it comes. I never would ever have any expectations of men, to be honest. So it's always, I don't get my hopes up, which is good. But like, listen, if the perfect man comes along tomorrow, I'll just marry him. So
yeah.
Okay. Someone said what happened with the Australian guy. I don't know what that means. No comments. Let's move on to the next question.
We may have talked about him already.
Fair. Okay. So there's like honestly so many more questions, guys. So thanks everyone for sending the questions. But we'll end with a wee cute one here. And then we'll move on to the last few dilemmas. Is there a motto in life you live by?
Oh god, I have about a million. I'd say honestly the most cliche, but like if there's one thing I actually genuinely live my life by, it is that everything happens for a reason. What's for you won't pass you. Yeah. And what if it's all okay in the end, if it's not okay, it's not the end.
That's mine. Yeah. But I always get tongue-tied and I'm like, you know what?
Love it.
But yeah, everything happens for a reason. It'll all work out. Like when has it ever not? You're still here.
Yeah.
It's always gonna work out.
Love that. Everything does happen for a reason. For facts. Even if it's like the worst time in your life, it happened for a fucking reason.
Like look back at the worst thing that's ever happened to you and like would you even take it back?
Yeah.
Because I definitely wouldn't.
No, not at all.
I'm like, this has made me who I am today.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. Class love, I'll be answer. We'll do 2 dilemmas because we have spoke for a billion years here.
Sorry.
We're all chatterboxes. I love it.
I know, it's so fun.
Recently broke up with my boy. I haven't read these, by the way. Recently broke up with my boyfriend. Felt okay for the first while and chalked it up. What does that mean? Chalked it up to already having processed it. Few weeks on and I miss him like crazy and desperately want to reach out, even though I know that chapter is closed now. Advice on how to do that, please. Love the pod. Smashing it. Oh, thanks, girl.
Ooh.
I read that, but didn't actually take it in my brain what was being said.
So they broke up, and at the start she felt like she felt fine, so she assumed she was over it. But now she's like getting urges to reach out. I think it depends. To me, I need more. I need more because I'm like, what did you break up over?
Yeah, but she said like that chapter's closed.
If you know in your heart it's closed, it's pointless to reach out.
I'd say if it's not a full body yes, then it's a no.
I also think like number one, you broke up for a reason. So don't forget that. And like if it was, say it was them who broke up with you, whatever, you don't want someone who doesn't want you.
Yeah.
If you know that door is closed, then don't go back to someone who, obviously, if the reason you broke up was to do with them, whatever, your husband would never do that. Like, the love of your life would not be acting like that. I'm just going to assume it was the man's fault because it usually is. But, like, honestly, if you broke up for a reason you think they don't want you back, but you want them back, you don't want someone who doesn't want you.
Yeah.
They're not good enough for you at that point. Do you know what I mean? I always just think.
And the thing is that it's more the urge thing to reach out. That's going to be normal because like
100%.
You're going to be having times where you're bored and you're going to like play things in your mind, and it's always going to be the good parts. So that's normal, and it's like an urge that you nearly need to just fight against in that sense.
Yeah, because it's just, they're so a part of your life. Like, it's a habit. It's like breaking an addiction. Do you know what I mean? Well, maybe not a literal addiction, but like it's like just breaking a habit, stopping vaping or whatever. It's such a habit to reach for the phone to text them. Just don't.
And also, you're probably getting so much love from this person. You're probably missing the attention and affection from this person. So if you are feeling like this, I know when I broke up with my ex, I was craving that attention from people. And then once I started sort of doing the work on loving myself, once you get the love for yourself, you're like, oh my God, I don't even need the love from someone else. Do you know what I mean?
And oftentimes, like with a lot of people, when it comes to the end of their relationship, it's because it's not making them happy anymore. So then every time they feel sad, they want to reach out to their ex because sadness is the emotion they associate with the ex.
With it,
so it makes them want to text them. But it's like, you were okay before them, you'll be okay after them. Literally, all you got to do is just act like everything's fine, and then it will be.
Yeah. Well, whatever you decide to do, you got this, and we love you. Thanks, girl. Right. So was secretly sleeping with they're in a big friend group, and she was secretly sleeping with one of the guys in the big friend group in uni, only to find out that he was saying behind my back that I'm only good use for one thing only, and he called me fat. What a cunt.
Oh my God, what a prick.
Just pretend that guy never existed ever in your life.
Like,
and
never look at him again.
Just
ever.
pretend that he's not even a human being.
And literally fucking out him till you're fucking... If he's in your friend group, people should not be friends with him. He has bad vibes. Get away from him.
Also, boys' opinions are genuinely so unimportant of you whenever it's like that kind of thing, because he obviously is attracted to you and fancies you, and like if he wants to sleep with you and everything, so just don't take it to heart.
That's
like, it breaks my heart every time I hear an insecure man who really brings a girl down, because you're the only opinion that matters is yourself, and it's so hard to tell yourself that when other people
he's doing that for an ego boost for himself,
to
be like, I'm a lad, like I'm a lad. He sounds like
he's doing that because he's
prick.
Insecure. 1000%. That's it.
Yeah, and I also will get bad karma for speaking badly about you, girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, we love you. Sorry you went through that. He's a cunt. Fuck him off. You got this, and you're amazing. But yeah, I think wrap that up. Yeah, we have loads more dilemmas. So again, sorry for not answering them. We'll save them for next week if we can. And yeah, thank you so much, Aoife, for coming on. Do you want to give us like your Instas or like anything you want to like promote, or Instagrams or whatever?
I have nothing going on in my life ever. My Instagram is Aoife O Farrell 84. Never couldn't get Aoife O Farrell. It was taken. Oh, do you know what actually? Okay, sorry.
Continue.
The username Aoife O Farrell was taken on TikTok. Okay, and I was like, what bitch has this? I went on. It was like this like account with no followers, no post, like 13 followers, whatever. And I was like, oh, what a loser. She doesn't even use it. It was me. Literally my account. So I logged into the account and changed it, and I got it.
Oh my God.
So stole it from that bitch. Yeah, my TikTok is Aoife O Farrell as well. Well, it's Mia Khalaoife, if you know how to spell Aoife.
Yeah.
There's probably no point. But like,
yeah, well, we'll tag her in the description of this and all anyway, to be fair. But yes, thank you so much for coming on. That was a classic chat. I'm buzzing to have you on.
First podcast.
Oh my God, thanks for going to first podcast. Yeah, thank you all so much for listening. If you haven't hit subscribe or follow and you want to listen to more, do that right now, because helps us get good guests like Aoife to come on. Do you know what I mean? So,
even though I was begging them for a month.
But yeah, thank you guys. We love you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. Well done.